It's more a series of events than one event. Um, our goals or purposes are to work in fellowship with the Baptist Fellowship Center, New Zion Baptist Church, and the Commonwealth Compassion Bridge to demonstrate the love and hope of Christ to under-resourced families in the west end of our city at Christmas. Each family receives a Bible. Each child receives 2 gifts and either a school uniform or a warm winter outfit. Commonwealth Compassion Bridge, which is led by Larry Martin, supplies a blanket for each family. Another of our goals has been to strengthen ties with the church in the area where a lot of the families that we minister to, where they live and would go. We don't look for them to come all the way to the east end because they live in that area of town. And the last 3 years, we've held the connection at New Zion Baptist Church, which is a predominantly black church located on West Coleman Drive and pastored by Russell Offert. It's a very strong church and has a fire history similar to ours. Their original church burned and they rebuilt where they are now. Another one of our goals is to provide an opportunity for our members to connect with the city through ministry. That's why I looked up those goals too. So, our target audience are families that have been, that the personnel at the Baptist Fellowship Center have worked with during the year. These are families that don't qualify for Christmas help from any other organization. The number of people reached each year depends on how much money is donated at our fundraising concert. We have no budget money. It all depends on the gifts. It costs about $50 to $75 per child, and we have had as many as 165 children in 65 families. This year we helped over 100 children in more than 40 families. We have a lot of volunteers. This year at the fundraising concert, thanks to Tim's wonderful work, there were over 100 volunteers of all ages who participated in the fundraising concert, and we raised a record amount of money. A group of our youth, led by Carol Weatherington, fixed over 100 bags of candy using leftover Halloween candy. These youth and others who helped in other areas on Saturday earned service points for their school organizations. The GAs painted Christmas scenes on grocery bags to be used to wrap strange items like footballs and basketballs. The Esther Sunday School class, which is made up of probably 10 to 15 median-age women, prepare a gift bag of personal care items for each parent. They also hand address to the name of the parent so that they get a personalized card along with their gift bag. We have about 40 volunteers who shop for the gifts for the children. They shop for children of a specific age and sex, like they might shop for 6-8-year-old girls. These volunteers are both male and female of all ages, and many take their children or their grandchildren with them to help pick out the gifts, and they'll pick the age of whatever age their grandchild is or their child. On Thursday, before the connection, we have 50 mostly retired volunteers who move all the items to New Zion and help to organize the room. On Friday, a different group of about 15 St. Matthew's volunteers, and this year we had 10 volunteers from New Zion Baptist who joined us to wrap as many of the gifts as we can on that Friday, and then we bagged the uniforms that day. On Saturday, which is the big day, the men's ministry team starts us off in the morning with a wonderful breakfast for all the volunteers. We had about 75 volunteers from St. Matthew's this year, including many of our youth, and about 20 volunteers from New Zion who acted as personal shoppers to help the parents or guardians select gifts for their children or acted as gift wrappers. So with very little overlap in the different groups, there were probably over 200 St. Matthew's volunteers and at least 25 from New Zion. To your question, we have done a fair job, I think. Terry and I, as such a good helper on this, and enlisting some of the younger marrieds and involved, and that would be one of my goals, to see more involvement of them. We would also like to see more, some younger folks get involved in the administration of the whole deal. I know there was some stress this year in working with the Baptist Fellowship Center because they had interim people. I know Jim had called to ask about it, and Terry has met their new director. We met him the day of the connection. He was there, and they should have a new social worker in place. And so before we think about switching to work with another group, I would like to continue to see us continue to work with the Baptist Fellowship Center at least one more year after the new people are in place. Any questions?